Hello students. Students, in the previous class in this chapter, that is synthetic fiber and plastics, we were talking about the different types of a synthetic fiber. So in the previous class of students, we had seen that of acrylic. So acrylic is what? It is a kind of a synthetic fiber which is basically used for a different purpose, and they are having the different properties also. So it is what? It is a kind of a lightweight, having a good resistivity. Resistivity means to that of the mold, to that of the chemicals also, as well as it's very easy to deal with that of the acrylic. Means it is very easy to wash it as well as to dry quickly. Acrylic is used for a different purpose. First of all, it is used for making the warm clothes, because when you see the acrylic, it will give a warm like a touch. So it is used for making the warm clothes, like shawl is there, and even sweaters are also made up of acrylic. Then it is used for making the home furnishing fabrics like that of a carpet. As well as it is used for making the board sails and yarn and vehicle covers. So these all are made of acrylic. This is for student, these are the properties and the uses of acrylic. Now we had also seen that what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages of synthetic fiber. If we talk about the advantages, students, so basically you see that we have seen it's quite lightweight. It means if we compare that with that of a natural fiber, we find that it is quite lightweight. Second, it is having good resistivity. Means it is a resistance to moth, it is resistance to chemicals, as well as it is resistance to that of the fungus also. Third, that it is having a good stretchability, means elasticity, and very easy to look after, means you do not have to take care of these fabrics. Like it is very easy to wash these clothes, they dry quickly, and they do not get wrinkles, they do not get shrinkage. So all these things are not there in that of the synthetic fiber. And when we say that they dry quickly, it means they do not retain water for a longer period of a time. So these are what, students, these are some of the advantages of that of the synthetic fiber. If you look at the disadvantages, so we will find here that basically the synthetic fiber, they are not good for the to wear, because since they are not a good absorbent of sweat, so they become very uncomfortable as compared to that of the natural fiber. Second thing, that they catches fire easily. It means they get melt easily, students, and what happened during fire, they get melt and stick to the body and causes more harm. So it is quite not good to use that of the synthetic fiber. Then since it is made up of a chemical, so we can say that they are what? They are the non-biodegradable. And also if they are non-biodegradable, they causes pollution. Fourth, students, that while ironing, we should be very careful regarding that of the synthetic fiber, because if it increases the heat, it will melt. And since it is made up of a chemicals, wearing such kind of a cloth can harm our skin also. So these are what, students, these are some of the advantages and disadvantages of the synthetic fiber. Moving on, and we will make a, so let us see that what happened when we burn the synthetic fiber. So for that, we will make a column here, and that is, this is what, student, this is a column of the fiber, the type of a fiber that we are using. Then this is what? This is the inflame, means what happened, whether it catches fire easily or not. Then the type of a flame also. Type of flame. Then we will see the smoke or the smell. And finally, residue, what we left behind. Okay, so these are the few things that we can do to understand here. Now we will take here the first kind of a fiber, student, and that fiber is, the first one is cotton and rayon. So if you look at the first one, that is cotton and rayon, then what kind of a inflame, what kind of a thing will happen when we burn it? Then we will find that it catches fire easily. It catches fire very easily. Then here the type of a flame we will write here. Burns continuously. Burns continuously with a bright yellow color. Burns continuously with a bright yellow color. What kind of a smell will be coming out of it? So, burning paper. The smell will be of a burning paper. And the residue will be a soft, dark ash. The residue will be the soft, dark ash. So this kind of a thing happen here when we burn the cotton and the rayon. Okay, so when we burn it, student, we will find that it means if suppose you burn this fabric, so it will catch us fire very easily. We will find here that is, as well as the type of a flame it will give students, that when we burn it, it will burn with a bright yellow color. What kind of a smell will coming out of it? So it will give a smell of a burning paper. Okay, so what happened? The smell that we get after burning a paper, the same kind of a smell we get when we burn the rayon or cotton. Here the residue that will left after burning these fabric, that is a soft dark ash. Let us see the another fiber. So, if you look at the another one, student, so that is of a silk and wool. Silk and wool. So, what happened when we burn the silk as well as that of the wool? So, here it does not catches fire easily. It does not catch fire easily. Next, it will burn slowly with a yellow flame. It will burn slowly with the yellow flame. Burn slowly with the yellow flame, and the smell that will come out from this fabric will be the smell of a burning head. And the kind of a residue which we left behind here is the irregular it will be irregular, hollow beads. Hollow beads. So it will provide the irregular, hollow beads. So when we burn this fiber, silk and that of the wool, then you will find that it does not catches fire easily, as well as it will burn very slowly, especially with that of the yellow flame. Then the smell that will coming out of it will be of a burning hair, and finally the residue will be the irregular hollow beads are there. Okay, so when we burn it, we will find the hollow beads that will be a irregular hollow beads. Now next we will see here that what happened when we burn the other synthetic fiber, including the nylon, polyester and acrylic. So we can write here, the next one is nylon, polyester, acrylic. Nylon, polyester and acrylic. So what kind of flame will be released here? Does not catches fire easily. Does not catches fire easily. What kind of a flame will be released? So it will burns with spluttering. What is the meaning of here? It means it will melt, it will get shrink when we burn it. Shrink away with flame. Shrink away with the flame, dear students. What kind of a smell is there? No definite smell will coming out of it. No definite smell will come out of it, and the residue will be a hard black beads. Hard black beads are the residue of that of the burning of the nylon, polyester and acrylic students. Okay, so I hope you have understood that what will happen when we burn these synthetic fiber. Then you look at the cotton and the rayon. Actually, rayon is basically made up of the wood pulp, so we will say that most of the time it will be half synthetic and half natural, and due to which it shows the properties of the cotton also quite comfortable, and if you compare with that of the nylon, polyester and acrylic, they are quite high resistivity. So ultimately when you try to burn it, it will not burn easily, and if it will burn it, then actually it will not going to catch fire easily, but it will melt. That is why it is written that it will shrink away with the flame. Then what kind of a smell will coming out of it? No definite smell will coming out of it. So this is all about that of the synthetic fiber. What kind of a flame they will produce, what happen when we burn it, and what kind of a smell will come out of it when we burn it, and finally the kind of a residue which is left behind after burning. Okay, now moving on, and we will see the next one. So the next topic is the plastics. Plastic students, so till now we had seen that of the synthetic fiber, understood the different types of a synthetic fiber, especially that is included in our book, its property and as well as its uses. Now let us see the second part of this chapter, and that is plastics. So again, what is a plastics? So it is a synthetic material. Yes, it is made, man-made, and it is what? It is also a polymer. Okay, it is also a polymer. So we can write here that plastics are synthetic material. Plastics are synthetic materials that can be easily shaped and molded into any form. So plastics are what? These are the synthetic material. It can be easily shaped and molded into any form. Okay, so we can reshape the plastics, we can mold we can mold that of the plastic and give a new shape and size to it. Okay, the second property of that of the plastic, that it is also a synthetic one, which is a polymer. So polymer like synthetic fiber. So it is also a polymer like that of the synthetic fiber, students. Okay, now different plastics get their properties, they get the different properties from the way the polymer are arranged in them. It means the way the polymers are arranged, the properties also decided. Now in this plastics, when we move forward and try to understand that of the that what are the different types of plastics are there, students, so you will come to know that the division of the plastics are totally dependent upon their arrangement. It means how molecules are arranged together, that will decide the property of the plastics here. So we can write here that different plastics gets their properties from the way the polymer molecule molecules are arranged in them. Are arranged means how the molecules how the polymer molecules they are combined together, they are arranged together, that will totally decide the kind of properties they have. Okay, So this is the another one. Now let us try to understand that what is there in that of the plastic. Means what are the things, what are the elements by which they have combined together to form the plastic, students. So when we look at the plastic, students, so when we look at the plastic, students, you will find that here actually the carbon and hydrogen, they are joined together. Means plastics are made up of a carbon and hydrogen, which will help in making the small molecules. Now these small molecules, they join together to form a complete plastics. It means it is the carbon and hydrogen which help in making the, these are the two atoms which create that of the small molecules of that of the plastics, and when these molecules, they combine together, then a full plastic is made up of. Now what happened when there is a long chain is formed by these molecules, that we call as a polymer, that we call as a plastic. Now when there is a long linear chain is formed, so what happened? One long linear chain is there, one is at the other one. So it will be quite easy for them to slide over it, and this will provide flexibility to that of the plastics. But if they are cross-linked with each other, then what happened? Okay, so they are like this, means the two layer of the long chain of the hydrocarbon is present there, and one more chain is there in between these two. Okay, so what will happen? This will create a cross-link structure, and due to which it provide rigidity to that of the plastic. So now you can understand the first line that we have written here, that was the type of arrangement of the molecule actually decide the properties of the plastics, right? Remember, student, we are discussing here the polymers. Okay, we know that like that of the synthetic fiber, plastics are also having they are made up of a polymers. Now these polymers decides their arrangement, the chain of the molecules, that will decide the properties of the plastic. If the chain of the first polymer and the other one is just over the another, so they can easily slide over it, and due to which it will provide flexibility to that of the plastic. But at these two, if another layer is there which is like this, means it will cross each other. I'll show you with the help of a diagram. So what will happen? This is a kind of arrangement, is a cross-linked arrangement. So this will do not provide flexibility, it will provide rigidity to that of the plastic. So let us write it, what is there in that of a plastic, students. So plastics are usually made up of it is usually made by joining carbon and hydrogen atoms to create different molecules which are joined to form a long chain, which are joined to form long chain polymer. I hope you have understood the line of this one, that is basically made up of a carbon, made up of a hydrogen atom. These two atoms, they will create different molecules here. Now these different molecules, they join together to form the polymers. Okay. Now the next is The long linear chain. The long linear chain of molecules. Long linear chain of molecules that slide over each other. They slide over each other easily makes the plastic flexible. Makes the plastic flexible. So the long linear chain of the molecules that can slide over each other, it will help in making the plastic flexible. It will help in giving flexibility to that of the plastics, students. The second one is the flexible, makes the plastic flexible plastics. The second one is the cross-linked. Cross-linked chain of a molecule make rigid plastics. Okay, so cross-linked chain of the molecules, they will make rigid plastic. Then the next one is, that is, most plastics are made from liquid, extracted from crude oil. Okay, so most plastics are there which is made from the liquid, and this liquid is basically extracted from that of the crude oil. Okay, so this is a few things that we have learned about that of the plastics, that it is what? It is a long linear chain. That linear chain which we can slide over one another, and this is because of that it will make the plastic a flexible plastic. It will provide flexibility to the plastic. If it is cross-linked plastic, then because of the cross-linking of the molecule, it will provide the rigidity. Then most plastics are there, students, which we extract from that of the crude oil, means from the liquid that is extracted from that of the crude oil. So this is about that of the plastics. Now let us see, we are saying that here the chain of the molecules, they are arranged in a different manner. So on the basis of that, we had also classified plastics into into two categories. So the next one is according to the behavior. According to the behavior on heating plastics, can be broadly classified into two categories. And that is thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. Thermoplastics and thermosetting plastic. So it totally depends that a kind of a behavior it will show on heating the plastic. We had classified these plastics into one, that is thermoplastic and thermosetting plastic. In this one, what we will find here, students, that basically the plastics are arranged in a different manner, means their structure, their arrangement of the molecules are different, and because of that the properties are different, and that is why we had classified into two.